You are listening to the Overcome Pornography for Good podcast, episode 273. Welcome to the Overcome Pornography for Good podcast, where we take a research-based, trauma-informed, and results-focused approach to quitting porn. This approach has been revolutionary and changed thousands and thousands of lives. I'm your host, Sarah Brewer.
I'm Hunter Garrett, and I'm so excited to talk to you guys all about trust and how you can build trust in yourself every single day. So have you ever noticed this before? You can be doing really, really well, maybe even you've gone a couple weeks, even a couple months, or a couple years, but yet there's still a voice in the back of your mind saying something like, yeah, but don't mess this up. This probably won't last forever. You know how this usually ends, right? Thoughts like that. So instead of feeling confident, you're feeling cautious every single day, kind of feeling like you're walking on thin ice, hoping and with your fingers crossed that you're not going to slip. Now, what's interesting with this is nothing has actually gone wrong yet, but you just don't trust yourself, right? So if that's you, I want you guys to continue to tune in and listen, because this is something that can be so important. It can be groundbreaking in your journey. This does not mean you're broken. It means that you haven't learned how to build self-trust yet for yourself. And that's so, so important. And that's what we're going to be chatting about today. And I'm really excited for it. So tune in. This is wonderful. Now, a lot of people think that confidence comes from the results that you're seeing. Like, I'll trust myself once I've gone long enough without slipping, right? Now, notice that that's pretty broad. Going long enough, well, what is that, right? That's pretty relative. But that's actually not how you can build trust in yourself, because trust is based on a perfect streak. Then one mistake resets everything, right? And that's obviously not going to help you overcome pornography for good in the long run, right? Like I said before, it might last a couple days, couple weeks, couple months, but at the end, it's not building trust in yourself. Now that you're back to, see, I knew you couldn't do this after a slip up, after that one mistake, your cycle is going to end, and it's going to feel like there's a lot of pressure, lost trust, and doubt. And that is so exhausting. And that's exactly why this fragile relationship with yourself that you're having is because there's no confidence or trust there. It's just every step is cautious, walking on eggshells, walking on thin ice. Now, I want to redefine this a little bit. Self-trust is not, I will never mess up again. That's not trust. That's just trying to be perfect. A lot of people come to me and talk about how they've tried to cut cold turkey, right? Just being perfect at it from here on out. And that just doesn't work, right? Real self-trust sounds more like, I trust myself to respond well to X, Y, and Z, to respond to a certain circumstance, no matter what happened. Because right now, your confidence is built on never slipping and never struggling again. But if you shift that foundation into, I trust myself to respond well no matter what happens, now that is built on how you show up, how you respond, and how you can take care of yourself, especially in those difficult moments. That's what creates trust, and that's what creates stability. Now, I have 3 different ways that I want to talk to you today about how to build self-trust in yourself, okay? Now, that sounds funny, self-trust in yourself. But most people try to build trust through huge, big goals. Like, I'm never going to watch again, or I'll go 90 days, I'll go 100 days, I'll go 120 days without viewing. But that's not building trust. That's just these huge declarations, and anybody can set those goals because they're so big. It's built on small follow-throughs. Building self-trust is on the small things. Things like, I said I'd pause and breathe, and I did that. I said I'd reach out, and I did. I said I'd get back on track, pull my bootstraps back up, get back on the horse, and I did. Every single time you follow through with one of those small things, you're casting a vote of, I'm somebody who shows up. And you're proving to yourself that you are showing up in these little things. That's how you can build trust. Now, the second way is to change how you respond to a slip up. Here at the Center for Overcoming, we are all about pulling your bootstraps back up and getting back on the horse. We love that. And first, you have to understand and gather data around how you respond, how a slip up came up, all of that stuff before moving on. Now, this is a really big one. If every single time you slip up, you beat yourself up, you spiral, you disconnect, then of course, you're not going to trust yourself. You're not going to trust anybody else. You're not going to trust on getting the help that you need, because your brain is like, yeah, when things go hard, we fall apart every single time. And your brain's going to start to believe that. And it's going to start to find proof on why that belief, why that thought is true. But imagine instead if there's a slip up that happens, you go through the learn and move on milestone in the program, and you respond with honesty. You respond with understanding, with ownership. You respond with a calm correction, a calm direction moving forward. Now your brain learns, even if there's a mess up, we're okay and we learn. So next time we can know exactly what to do. That builds way more trust than a perfection streak ever could. Okay.
Hey, you guys, Wednesday, April 22nd, I am teaching in live class that I'm so excited about. I would love to have you attend. It's free to attend. It's called How to Finally Be Free from Porn by the End of 2026. And it can absolutely happen quicker than by the end of this year, but I'm giving you the framework and the things that you need to really stay laser focused in on if you want to have that feeling of freedom, to not be burdened down by this anymore. If you're ready, if it's time, if you want to go, if you want to do it, this is the class you need to be at. It's Wednesday, April 22nd at 6 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can register by going to centerforovercoming.com/live class. I'll be there. I don't do these live classes. Unless you're in the program, you won't see me live very often. So I definitely recommend that you come. I'll stay to answer questions at the very end. All right, you guys, so excited to see you there.
Now, the third thing that can really help is to collect evidence along the way on purpose. So your brain is constantly looking for proof. And this is what I was kind of touching on earlier. So if you only pay attention to when there's a mess up, that's all you're going to see. But if you start tracking moments that you handle urges, moments that you choose up or show up differently, moments that you choose differently, now your brain is giving yourself new evidence because you're focusing on what you want. I touch on this all the time. If you're a golfer, I love golf. So this is going to be an example. Hopefully whoever's listening, hopefully you understand golf a little bit. But imagine you're up there for the first tee box and there's water on the left or right side. And I tell myself, don't hit it in the water, don't hit it in the water, don't hit it in the water. I'm going to slice that sucker right in the water, right? Maybe not every single time, maybe not 10 out of 10 times, but it's going to increase my odds just because I'm focusing on what not to do. But if I say, hey, you know what? I acknowledge, I understand that there's water on the left side or right side, and I'm going to hit it down the middle. I can do this. Now you're focusing on what you want. The same idea applies here. If you focus on what you want, if you focus on tracking the small things, setting small goals that can help build trust, your brain's going to see that as well. Okay. If you tell yourself, I can't trust myself, trust is obviously not going to be there, right? And you're going to continue in this loop. But if you can shift that to, actually, I've been showing up a lot more than I realized. I've been listening to the podcast. I'm putting in the work. I'm reaching out. I'm connecting. I'm learning about what's going on. That builds trust. So here's something that we could start doing today. At the end of each day, ask yourself, where did I follow through? Not where were you perfect? Not where did I avoid struggle? But where did you show up? And it doesn't even have to be pornography related at first. You have to build trust with yourself. And even if it's that, hey, I didn't want to get out of bed to go to work this morning and I did. I got out of bed. Great. You showed up for yourself. They can be very small things. I encourage you to write down 2 or 3 things at the end of every single day, or you can connect with your spouse, connect with a partner, connect with a friend, and just share with them how you showed up for yourself. This is how you can start rewiring your brain and start building trust in yourself, because trust does not come from the intensity. It comes from the consistency behind what's really going on. Now, right now, a lot of you are living with an identity of, and I'm included in this, by the way, right? As I was writing this, I wanted to, draw on my own experience a little bit as well, because, hearing from other people can be really inspiring, hopefully. So I had a belief, I had an identity of myself that's I'm someone who struggles, right? And that alone is not going to ever build trust in myself, because I'm telling myself over and over again that I'm someone who struggles. Even if I'm trying to overcome this, that's still the belief that I'm telling myself. And so my brain would continue to show up in a way that says, yeah, you are someone who struggles. But what if you could start stepping into this new belief, this new identity of I'm someone who's learning how to show up for myself. And in doing that, your identity is going to shift to more of a growth mindset, and it's going to be more future focused on what you want, which is more important than telling yourself you're someone who struggles. Okay. So if you have ever felt doubt in yourself, if you're just praying that you don't slip up after 90 days, or if you're just waiting for the time that you're going to fall apart, if you feel like you're doing better, but you still don't fully trust yourself, you're not behind. Okay. And I want to make that very clear. You're not behind in your journey to overcome. All we have to do is start tapping into this trust a little bit. Building trust in yourself is huge. Now, it's not through perfection. It's how we show up again and again. You don't need to prove that you're never going to struggle again, but you just need to prove that you won't abandon yourself. And you just need to prove that you won't throw in the towel when there's a slip up or whenever times get tough. Building trust in yourself comes from consistency. And at the end of the day, that's what's really important. And love, obviously, right? I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm so grateful that you guys were able to, I hope you listened to this. I hope you learned something. Take my advice on, writing 2 or 3 things down, reaching out to somebody and sharing it. It can be so, so helpful. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you guys here. And if you need anything, you guys can email me at hunter@sarahbrewer.com if you want to, jump into the center. I know there's not a better place for you to be. If you decide to jump in, I'm going to be excited. Sarah's going to be stoked for you. And the whole team is going to flood you with love and support every single step of the way. Reach out at hunter@sarahbrewer if you need anything, and have a fantastic rest of your week. Bye-bye.
I want to invite you to come and listen to my free class, How to Overcome Pornography for Good Without Using Willpower. We talk about how to stop giving into urges without pure willpower or relying on phone filters so that you can actually stop wanting pornography. We talk about how to stop giving up after a few weeks or months. And spoiler alert, the answer isn't have more willpower. And then lastly, we talk about how to make a life without porn easily sustainable and permanent. If you're trying to quit porn, this class is a game changer. So you can go and sign up at sarahbrewer.com/masterclass, and it is totally free.